Are you a fan of skateboarding games? Have you been eagerly awaiting the release of Skate 4? Well, you're not alone. The Skate series has been enjoyed by gamers and skateboarders alike for many years, but there seems to be some growing concerns about the latest installment that EA is working on with Skate 4. In this video right here, guys, we're going to take a closer look on the concerns that are kind of revolving around the development of Skate 4 from a realistic skater's point of view. We'll dive into all the issues that have been raised by the skateboarding community and what that means for the future of the game, and I'm sure this will get people talking, so I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. So the first thing I want to bring up, guys, is the word gatekeeping. I want to explain what gatekeeping means in skateboarding in real life and how that ties into skateboard gaming as well, and how we've already been experiencing gatekeeping with Skater XL in Session, but it's also one of the factors that makes Skater XL in Session feel so authentic. It's because gatekeeping is a real thing and it happens in real life all the time. So gatekeeping, you may or may not be familiar with this term. It's the practice of setting up arbitrary rules about who or who cannot be considered as a real skater. So it's kind of like the unofficial rules about what is cool, what's not cool, what's authentic and what's not authentic, you know. It's pretty simple, but it's an arbitrary line that gets moved around a lot by different people. So we never really know where that line stands, but just know that the line does exist. So in the context of skateboarding video games, authenticity is a key factor that is tied to gatekeeping. And you might experience that a lot with Skater XL in Session because people that play those games are experienced skateboarders. You might see that very often. There's not a lot of people that play Skater XL in Session that don't skateboard in real life. Those games are very authentic. They give you a real life experience, especially Session Skate Sim. It's a simulator game, you know, so it simulates real skating. They both give you dual stick control, so you have the freedom of foot control. So Skater XL in Session is like the next step from Skate 3. It feels more authentic than Skate 3 did to real skaters at least. But of course, those two games are kind of niche and they don't really appeal to the mass market, which is what EA is going for with Skate 4. So what I've been seeing in the comment sections, especially with these boardroom meetings, guys, from my last video, a lot of negativity or concerns are growing around the development because some people in the skateboarding community and people that skateboard in real life, they feel that this game isn't authentic to what skateboarding feels like and looks like in real life. I don't really want Skate 4 to be like, you know, a hardcore skateboarding simulator. We have Session already, we have Skater XL, we have these games. But I think if you make a skateboarding game or if you make a game that uses real pro skaters and stuff and real companies, you kind of have a duty to represent real skateboarding. And what do I really mean by that? Because Skate 1, 2, and 3 has some of the best skateboarding in gaming ever. So, you know, Skate has brought a lot to the table already. And we're expecting Skate 4 to bring more to the table than Skate 1, 2, and 3, right? Because it's an ongoing title. It'll change over time. It'll get better and better. And we're expecting this to be the best skateboarding experience for both realistic and unrealistic skaters. The thing to me is that I got into skateboarding through Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And that's what introduced me to the culture of skateboarding. And that's kind of what Skate is about to do with this next Skate game. So it's important for me to know that the people being onboarded in this next Skate game have that authentic experience and they get drawn into the community of skateboarding in a real authentic way. And what I mean by that is being presented with real skaters, real brands, because at the end of the day, there's some kid throwing themselves down a staircase. And that's what's continually pushing the genre forward. So, you know, you have to respect the core skating first and foremost. So I think representing the realistic side of skateboarding is super important because those are the people putting in the groundwork. Tony Hawk was one of the best and biggest games in the entire world. It appealed to way more people than just skaters because the person's name on the cover is Tony Hawk. That was the biggest skateboarder at the time, you know, the most famous, you know, I guess through X Games and stuff. Yes, he was a contest skater. Yes, he was like Nigel Houston, but he brought skateboarding to the masses in a more authentic way than I think Skate is doing with this next Skate game here so far from what I've seen. And even if you ask Tony Hawk in real life, you know, why don't you make a more realistic skateboarding game or get your developers to make a more realistic skateboarding game? He would tell you straight up, just buy a skateboard. Like, he doesn't care about video games. And that's what's important about Tony Hawk's games is that Tony Hawk himself doesn't play his own games. Like, I mean, he knows that skateboarding in real life is more important. So a point I want to make, guys, is that we may remember Skate, you know, being unrealistic. Skate 3, people doing like, you know, Christ stairs over the shark and stuff like that. But, you know, it was more realistic than Tony Hawk Pro Skater ever was. I remember back in the day when Skate 1 came out. And you have to remember, when Skate 1 came out, it was the most authentic and realistic experience that we've ever experienced in a skateboarding game. It took what Tony Hawk did to the next level. It made it super difficult. You had to flick your tricks and, you know, kick it out and stuff. It's crazy how much they did and how much they improved on the old formulas. So if you skate in real life, if you're a skater, and if you commented on my last video, you probably feel the same way as I do here, is that we want the next Skate 4 game, the next Skate game, to be the same step from Tony Hawk as Skate 1 was. We want the next step from Session and Skater XL. We want a realistic, grounded experience that represents skateboarding to its full potential. If you can get skaters on board and everybody and all the skateboarding community is like, yo, this game is sick. All the pro skaters are like, yo, this game is crazy. People are real about that. They feel like this game is really representing them, the skateboarding culture. They will promote it to people that don't skateboard, and the snowball will keep rolling. I think if you try too hard to appeal it to every single person or everyone, what you're doing is you're not appealing it to the people that matter the most, which is the skateboarding community itself, which yes, it's small. It may not make a lot of money at first, but I think that's what, you know, Skate 1 and 2 and 3 were built off. And being free to play, it's going to appeal to a much larger audience. There'll be people that try it out for the first time ever who would have never bought it in the first place. So you'll have a bunch of people playing the game that would have never even tried it in the first place. So it's really good. But I think still though, the funnel is so big that they have a duty to promote skateboarding's culture as authentic as possible. I've been seeing vans in the game, seeing different companies and stuff, and you can feel, you know, the way that you want about vans. I hope they have pro skaters. I hope they have real companies, and the royalties go to the companies as well. I hope they have like local skate shops from real life in the game. There's a lot of things that they can do with this game that can make it feel super authentic by giving exposure to real companies and advertising, you know, smaller brands and stuff like that in the game. So that's how free to play kind of works. Yes, they're going to sell crazy gear, like, you know, angel wings, halos, probably skull masks, but I hope they also sell packages of real brands, and I hope the game is immersive. I mean, for me, being a realistic skater, I hope the game is immersive, and that when you play the game, it feels like a real skateboarding experience. And unfortunately, when you appeal the game to everybody, right, and you have people doing unrealistic stuff, how does it appeal to realistic skaters when you have ramps in the sky? So, like, I'm not trying to be a hater at all. Like, I want everybody to enjoy the game. You know, I like people that trick line because they promote the game to a new audience, and those people get into skateboarding. All that matters is you pick up a skateboarding game, you get familiar with, you know, Zero, you buy a Zero skateboard. That's what I want to see happen. You know, just skateboarding grow in real life indirectly through this game. I just don't want EA to take advantage of skateboarding's culture and make a penny off of it, because the person that's implementing the store, the marketplace, the business model of this game, they're not a skater. I don't think it's a person in a suit. So it's important to note, guys, that there is no right way to skateboard in your life. Like, although people will gatekeep certain tricks or ways to do tricks and talk about style and stuff and break people's styles down and clothing down and stuff, there's no right and wrong way to skateboard in your life, and there's no right and wrong way to play skate either. That's kind of the same thing that they're doing with this game here. So I think a lot of skateboarding gaming companies will be offered, you know, to add their clothing to the game, add advertisements to the game and stuff. But I think, honestly, I think they'll be taken advantage of and have their stuff sold in the game and not get their royalties for it. So I think that's important that EA, you know, gives the money to the companies that have built the foundation of skateboarding. And obviously, I don't expect it to, you know, match Skater XL and Session in terms of authenticity, but it's also still very early, guys. So who knows? You know, think about like FIFA. An EA game, think about Madden, think about NHL, think about NBA games, like 2K games, think about any sport game ever. They're all realistic. Think about Call of Duty. Like, you take fall damage and stuff, but like, yeah, like you like Call of Duty is more realistic than this game. Like, think of any video game. I just think that, you know, skateboarding games are hard to make. I think that making animations look right is hard to do. I think it's hard for them to make it look right because they have Session and Skater XL to compare it to now. It's hard to, like, you know, compare these games side by side because some things will look better in certain lights and some things will look worse. But also the fact that Skater XL and Session are highly moddable. And if I want a Nike SB shirt, Dunks, if I want Adidas shoes, I can go to Photoshop and make them and add them to the game right away with mods, only on PC with mods. What they're going to be doing with this game is selling cosmetics of all these things that we've been doing for free in Skater XL Session for many, many, many years. And now EA is going to come along and sell these things to you in microtransactions. And I can tell you straight up, guys, it's a free-to-play game with cosmetics that are paid for. There won't be modding. Skateboarding is about kind of like being like a fuck you, I can do whatever the hell I want kind of vibe. And that's what Skater XL Session offers, that if you want, you know, your local park in the game, if you want all the skateboarding stuff that we have in Skater XL and Session that's free, all the free mods are going to be gate kept behind a store. So personally, guys, I don't feel like I'm gatekeeping skateboarding, you know, telling people how to play the game. You can play however you want. I think EA are the people that are gatekeeping skateboarding by keeping these things behind a paywall. But again, there is a right and a wrong way to do this storefront and business model. So I want to see what it turns out to be. But yeah, it's just weird that we have all these other, you know, companies in the world, FIFA, NHL, NBA, all these other sport games that are super realistic and almost simulator-like. But then we have skateboarding, and it's just like you're flying through the sky. I don't get it. Anyways, guys, just a big rant, I guess. I'm just kind of all over the place with this one, but I think it kind of sums up my thoughts about how I feel about the game. A lot of people that watch me, they're all skaters, and I think a lot of us feel the same, that we want to be represented well. Living the lifestyle for a long time, I'm gonna kind of live that through the game. I'm getting old, you know, I can't really do it like I used to, so I want to play it through the game. I'm personally still excited for Skate 4. I'll be playing it, you know, every single day when it comes out, and I'll be making videos too. So if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, definitely subscribe to the channel here. I'll be making a lot of videos covering Skate 4 and stuff. You know, whether the game is good or bad doesn't matter. I'll be making videos about how the game is good. I'll be making videos how the game is bad. Whatever happens, happens. And again, guys, my point is never to start drama or to be negative. It's just to be open, give you guys my insights, and just kind of open up to you guys, let you know how I feel, because I've been kind of in the trenches right here for a while now with Skater XL, Session, True Skate, like all these video games coming out and stuff. And I've met developers on all different sides of, you know, the spectrum here. So I mean that the community and we kind of band together, give our battle cries out to what we believe in, and just leave your comments down below, guys, what you guys truly think. And I think being overly positive is kind of, you know, not a good thing sometimes. I think being negative isn't a good thing either. I think being critical or being concerned is not a good thing all the time either. But I think, you know, having realistic expectations, not worrying too much about things, and just, you know, skating in real life. Those are the most important things to me. I hope just somebody at EA sees this, you know, maybe shares it around and stuff. And by the way, EA, I love you guys. Thank you guys for the opportunity with the player council, and thank you guys for the opportunity with my channel here. Just getting to cover Skate 4 is helping grow my channel itself, and I want to be involved. So I mean, if there's ever a time and place where I can be invited back onto the player council, I would like that a lot. I think that, you know, with Skater XL Session on my YouTube channel, I focus heavily on authenticity and how to make people's games feel more authentic to them. I don't know, guys. Subscribe to the channel, I guess. Like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.